No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for April 19th, 2024. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. Smackdown once again sold out in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We kicked off the show with a match. We had LA Knight versus AJ Styles, with the winner going on to face Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Backlash in France on May the 4th. They had words, some trash talking back and forth. They fought on the outside. LA Knight slammed Styles into the table repeatedly. And then after the commercial break, LA Knight continued his momentum. He came off the top with a big superplex, but Styles was able to kick out, and then Styles took control, went for the Styles Clash. LA Knight avoided that. LA Knight also avoided the phenomenal forearm. Then LA Knight went for the BFT, but Styles was able to roll to the apron. Styles poked the eye of LA Knight while the referee was not looking, and then Styles picked up the victory with the phenomenal forearm. No surprise here. I guess it was a little bit of a dirty finish, but it was about as clean as you can get for a heel when the babyface in the match is one of your hotter acts in the company. AJ Styles gets the win. It was a good match. No surprise, though. Styles as a heel challenging Cody Rhodes for the title makes sense for Cody's first title defense. And if LA Knight won, well, he'd be losing to Cody. So in this sense, I think it's the right call. AJ Styles will have a very good match with Cody in France. And there you have it. It is set. Although I should say, even though they announced it's happening, next week we're getting a contract signing. In other words, we really don't have a good storyline here. It's just a match, and we need a contract signing to build it up. Whatever. We had a video package of the Bloodline angle from last week with the debut of Tama Tonga. Jimmy Uso attacked by Solo and Tama. And then we had Solo arriving. He was dressed very well. He introduced Paul Heyman to the newest member of the Bloodline, Tama Tonga. And then Solo wanted to know if Kevin Owens was in the building and wanted Heyman to take him to Kevin Owens, wherever Kevin Owens was at. We had Nick Aldis introducing Triple H, Paul Levesque for the unveiling of the new tag team titles on SmackDown. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, were brought out, and now they will be known as the WWE Tag Team Champions. By the way, shout out to Big G. It's his birthday today. They say it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Congratulations on making it another year in this crazy thing we call life. Now, back to SmackDown. We got the new titles revealed, the WWE Tag Team titles, and I really like them. They are very similar to the late 1980s, 1990s WWE Tag Team titles, which were always my favorite back in the day. So thumbs up on the new titles. And I like the Raw ones too, but I like the SmackDown ones even more. And you had A-Town Down Under making some jokes, and Nick Aldis was not amused. He warned A-Clown Down Under to not be disrespectful or there would be consequences. Then we had the top contender match, Authors of Pain, AOPP against the New Catch Republic, the Banana Republic, versus Los Lotharios, Legado del Fantasma, Angel, Humberto, Berto, whatever they're called, and the Street Profits. This was a good match. You had A-Town Down Under on commentary. It started with Tyler Bate and Montez Ford, and then Humberto took a cheap shot, so that allowed Angel and Humberto to get the upper hand for a while. Then the AOP came in and started cleaning house. Then after the commercial break, New Catch Republic came in, did some moves. Tyler Bate, with the help of like 4 other guys, was able to pick up Razor, and that got a big pop from the crowd. But Legado broke up the airplane spin. Then we had the Tower of Doom spot that they always do with the Authors of Pain doing dueling power bombs while there was a superplex. 5 guys involved in that spot. Then Legado had Tyler Bate up in the corner, and they tossed him down onto the big pile of guys in the ring. And then we had another commercial break, and it was continuing to be competitive, pinfalls being broken up. And then the Profits eventually got the win. They hit the Revelation. Dawkins pinned Angel Garza. And as Walter pointed out in the chat room, you knew the baby faces were going to win here, going up against the heels, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Like I said, entertaining match, and I'm fine with the Profits going up against A-Town Down Under. Bayley was interviewed backstage to talk about her first women's title defense. She brought up Rhea Ripley and said that she appreciates her title after seeing Rhea Ripley having to give up her title. Then we had Paul Heyman backstage with Solo Sikoa. Could not find Owens, but said they'll keep looking. And Heyman said Solo is the last guy he wants to be pissed off, but he said maybe these are decisions that Solo is not supposed to be making just yet, because right now there's only one man that can make these decisions. And before he could say anything else, Solo asked, "Are you done yet?" Solo marched to the ring. Heyman reluctantly followed him, and then they cut the promo. Paul Heyman got on the mic. Crowd was chanting, "We want Roman," very loud. And Heyman started to say, "As the wise man for ... Solo Sikoa grabbed the microphone, and Solo was trying to talk, and he was getting the Dominic reaction where every time he started to talk, the crowd just tried to boo him out. And then he introduced his MFT, My Family Tree. His MFT is Tama Tonga. Tama came out there with a bloodied Kevin Owens. Owens was thrown out there. Owens's face was covered in blood. So blood is back. They are using blood again. And I'm all for it, as long as it's not a weekly thing like what they have been doing in AEW. I think it can definitely enhance the show. So yeah, big angle here. Kevin Owens, a bloody mess, brought into the ring. He tried to fight back, but it was 2-on-1. They destroyed Owens, and then officials came out there. Nick Aldis came out there. Aldis actually had to stand over the body of poor Kevin Owens, and eventually they backed off. And I thought it was a great angle. Made Tama Tonga look like a complete badass, and elevates the new bloodline and furthers the story. Who's really pulling the strings here? Like Roman Reigns? Is it The Rock? You know, we got to keep wondering where this is all going. Very, very well done. Then we had Nick Aldis outside. This was after the commercial break. Nick Aldis had Paul Heyman brought over to where we saw 2 crashed rental cars. And Nick Aldis was able to confirm that one of them belonged to Kevin Owens and the other one belonged to Tama Tonga. So it looks like we had some vehicular assault going on here. Definitely a throwback to the Attitude Era. Like, this kind of stuff was done very often in the Attitude Era. And yeah, it's definitely picking up. Maybe Rikishi did it. Maybe Rikishi did it for the Bloodline. You never know. But again, I'm really liking the storyline and where they're going with this. And Nick Aldis said he's not going to tolerate this, and he wants to make sure that the Bloodline understands this. And we do have the draft coming up, and we'll see where things go from there. Week 1 of the draft is next week, by the way. And then we had Carlito versus Santos Escobar. Basic match here. Carlito had the early momentum, came over the top with a crossbody, and then held up Zelina Vega on his shoulders. But then after the commercial break, Elektra Lopez got on the apron. Zelina went after her, but then Elektra slammed Zelina into the barricade, and then the referee was distracted. Santos Escobar went low and then sent Carlito into the ring post and then finished him off with the Phantom Driver. And I do think a Carlito heel turn is coming. I think Carlito was the guy that took out Dragon Lee, and that'll be the big reveal at some point, that Carlito was jealous of not getting the spot. But yeah, he needs a heel turn, and please, can we get Carlito's old music back? This Def Rebel song is trash. By the way, the memes on Twitter and X, if you're not on there, fantastic. People have been posting these parody songs mocking Def Rebel, and I'm all for it. We had Damage Control in a luxury box, and they talked about how they are still the most dominant force in WWE. But then they were interrupted by Jade Cargill's music. Jade and Bianca Belair ended up in a luxury box right next to them, and there was a little bit of a face-off between them. And this led to our final match. But before we get to the match, we did have Cody Rhodes interviewed from London. The Raw stars are in the UK right now on tour, and Cody briefly commented on AJ Styles and said he's looking forward to their match coming up at Backlash. Why wouldn't he be excited? We had our women's championship match in the main event spot. Bayley defending her championship against Naomi, and it was a competitive match, back and forth. Naomi got several near falls, rear view, and then she did the little "I almost got you" there. Then she hit a face buster after the commercial break. Bayley once again kicked out. Then Bayley started to build up momentum. She came off the top with the flying elbow, but Naomi kicked out of that. And then they started trading blows. They ended up on the outside of the ring, and Tiffany Stratton attacked Bayley, causing a disqualification. Yeah, so they did this match only for it to end in a DQ. Tiffany beat both of them up, came off with a prettiest moonsault onto both of them, and stood tall as SmackDown went off the air. So basically, they're setting up a triple threat match here, since Naomi got screwed out of her title opportunity. It'll likely be a triple threat, probably at Backlash. So all in all, I think SmackDown was a good show. The DQ was a little flat, but they did set up something with Tiffany, and she's really hot right now. And the Bloodline angle was very well done. AJ Styles and LA Knight was a good match. Very solid SmackDown. I give it a solid B. I enjoyed it. Highlight of the show was definitely the Bloodline stuff. And maybe they're going to hold off on a triple threat. Maybe it'll just be Naomi versus Tiffany, and Io Sky will get her rematch. I'm not really sure where they're going with this. But yeah, could end up either way. Either Bayley in a triple threat or Bayley versus Io in a rematch. Whatever they do is fine. Good show. Good episode of SmackDown. And there is some breaking news. Jinder Mahal is gone from WWE. Also, Xia Li is gone from WWE. And Zion Quinn is gone from WWE. At least 3 people are gone. So it looks like we may be getting our spring cuts here. As of right now, as of this video being live, only 3 people are known to be gone. But of course, we could see more cuts announced over the coming days. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest. And No DQ reviews Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Never mind. That's Dynasty. Tuesday night, we'll be talking about whatever the releases are, whatever the final tally is, plus fallout from Dynasty. Sunday, we got the Dynasty pay-per-view. I'll be doing the live coverage on NoDQ.com. And I will be back here late Sunday night with a recap of the show. That's all I got for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership and support. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest. Buy a shirt, NoDQ.com/merch, and I will see you all next time.